function like is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yesterday also I have started to discuss this particular aspect, that is the finance function. This finance function and its understanding is very important because the remaining part of your course that is going to revolve around these four functions, and they are encompassing all the financial activities within the organization. So whatever is taking place at the corporate finance level, they are being handled with the help of these different functions which are there. No doubt, there are many other functions also which will be coming in between and which are having their impact on the valuation of the firm. So those functions will also be, but broadly speaking, these are the mainly four functions which are considered to be the finance function or the financial decisions also. So interchangeably we are using financial decision, financial functions, they are same. Now the terminology, as I have told you, because still we are in the stage of development, so many things they are changing time to time, so the terminology is also different. It is a long-term assets decision. How much money you are going to invest on the acquisition of long-term assets and what conditions and criteria you are going to check before taking this decision. Whether it will be feasible, it will be viable for you to go for that. That's why we say that okay, it is a capital budgeting decision. It is a capital expenditure. It is a huge amount of money which is involved, and the amount of money involved is one time maybe, and return from that money, from that investment, that will be over a period of time. And we understand that there is the concept of time value of money. Sometimes you are investing, but after some time you are going to get its return. So how are you going to match that? We will be coming to this part. Another one is the capital structure decision, that is financing decision. So this finance, where from are you going to get this money? What are the different options available with you? And what will be its impact on the total cost of your capital? Because in business, you have to keep this in mind throughout, that no money is free to the business. It has to be, the cost will have to be met. You will have to pay the cost of money, whatever is coming. So you will have to manage it in some way. How are you going to do that? What are the options available? So that part is capital structure decision that is going to consider. We are going to consider just after it. Naturally, the dividend decision, because this is the organization of the owner, those who have contributed to the equity capital, and to some extent the preference capital. So how much you are going to pay to the equity shareholder, how much you are going to retain, what is your justification, what will be its impact on the valuation of the firm, all these aspects. So the decisions related with the payment of dividend to the shareholders, that part is another important part. But this dividend decision is not the regular decision, of course. Dividend you will be declaring on quarterly, half yearly, and the final is your yearly basis dividend you are going to declare. But there are certain reasons which you have to consider and how it is going to affect the value of the firm. So very important part is this. Then the working capital decision, those decisions which are related with the daily operations of your business. These decisions are on a regular basis. They will have to be taken. Some part of this decision, working capital decision, you will also study in some other courses, mainly operations management, where the inventory and different type of inventory and acquisition, maintenance, and many others. We will also discuss them. But our focus will be mainly on the financing side. No doubt, they will also deal with the finance side. But in addition to that, they will be dealing with some additional material. But here our focus will be on the financing side, how it is going to affect the financial part of the organization, the working capital management, or the working capital decision. And I have already discussed that we will have to see what is the position of risk when you are going to take these decisions and what is the position of return related to that. And finally, what is the value of that particular firm? And see, the value of firm we are generally determining. There are many types of values which we are determining. It may be in terms of your EPS. This is the value which is related with your internal organization. But this value that may be determined on some other basis. Let me check if somebody is waiting. Please try to be in time because is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay then. So, risk return, market value. So, the value of share at the stock market, we are going to consider that. So, we will have to see the different type of decisions, regularity of the decision or how frequently we are taking these decisions. But finally, we will have to check in terms of risk related to those decisions, return related to that, and its impact on the market value. So we have to consider this in this particular manner. Now see, the capital budgeting decision which I have told you, it is related with your long-term or the fixed assets. It includes investment in land and building, plant and machinery, equipment, systems, advertising, research and development. If you are going to check them, you will find that the investment you are going to make at one time, but return you will be getting over a period of time. You will have to justify how far this return that is in consonance with your investment whatever you have made. And see, in case of this, when you are going to invest in such type of assets, there are different risks which you are involved in this case. Whatever your projections are, whatever is your forecasting, they may not come true in future because the situations, they will not remain same, they may change. No doubt you have already considered different variables. Then the preference of the customer may change, so the customers may be switching over. At the same time, you have also considered this variable that our product will be known to the people. So the awareness about our brand that is there with the customer. So many other customers, they will also come and join. So the shifting of customer, that is possible. Reduction in price, you will have to make based on your competition. Many factors you will have to keep in mind. One thing which we generally emphasize at this stage is that whatever method of forecasting you have applied for the purpose of gauging how much return you are going to get over a period of time, you must have confidence in those figures. Very important part is this. If your confidence in those figures are not there, whatever calculations you are going to make, you will not be in a position to take any decision. For that purpose, for the purpose of creating or developing this confidence, you should adopt those methods, those tools and techniques which are giving you very close to reality, the data. So the very important component related to this is that whatever calculations you are making for future, that case at present, how much you have visualized the changes or the risks or the differences or expectations. These visualizations, they should be reflected in the figure, in the amounts, whatever you have tried to calculate, so that you will be having some amount of confidence in that figure. Otherwise, you will say that, okay, it may change, it may change. So in that case, you will not be in a position to take decisions. You will not be in a position to say that, okay, this investment is the proper investment for the company. So long-term the investments, whenever we are making, the future, as we know, it is uncertain. We cannot say, we cannot 100%, we cannot predict. But under this uncertainty also, certain things, they are certain. We are considering that we will have to understand that figure. You will also have to understand the nature. You will also have to understand the different variables which are affecting on that. And then you should come to the conclusion that this investment is going to give me this much return over this period of time. And based on that, you will have to calculate whether your investment is giving you the positive return or not. The very important part of your course and the decision also, that is your budgeting decision or investment decision. Now take the example. If suppose you are going to start your business, then in that case, what we do, first of all, we are going to create long-term assets. In very small business also, we are going to create long-term assets. Very, very small, even in that case. If the organization is very large, naturally the long-term assets, they will have to be purchased. What will be the contribution of that long-term asset in the generation of your revenue? These long-term assets and their contribution we will have to check. See here, the very important concept which we have already discussed. Whenever you are going to invest, what is going out? It is a cash outflow. Your cash is going. So you will be matching with what? You will have to match with your cash inflow. It will be the cash inflow. It will be the incremental cash inflow. It will be the after-tax cash inflow. Because you are investing now, the cash outflow is there. And you are going to calculate only on the basis of your sales revenue, for example. It is not going to work. Why? Because your investment that will have to be checked in terms of after-tax return, whatever you are getting. Because it is not possible that in 1 year you are going to get all the returns. So the return you will have to check, it will be after-tax incremental cash inflow. And you are going to compare the two, the investment now and after-tax incremental cash inflow. Then only you will be in a position to say that, okay, whatever investment I am making, that is suitable. Always keep this in mind, the caption. It is after-tax incremental cash inflow that will have to be matched with the investment whatever you are making. But the caption is so long, simply we are writing cash inflow. So cash outflow and cash inflow. But the understanding behind that is that it is the after-tax incremental cash inflow from that particular investment. Then only it will be possible for us to check whether this investment is suitable for the business or not. So the details, they will be coming, but our understanding at this stage, the basic understanding, the function, the capital budgeting function or the investment function, that where you are going to invest your money. When you are going to start business, so you are going to have very clear idea what type of investment you will have to make, what type of technology you are going to use. The state-of-the-art technology, completely contemporary, modern, whatever are available in the market, you are going to get that. You are in a position to have that much amount to purchase it, either from your own market within the country, or you are going to take it from outside. That part you will have to consider. So you are going to take that. In some cases, you will also find that your investment is not like this. You are going to take certain things on lease. In case of long-term assets, it is possible. that we are not going to buy, but we are going to take on lease. But when you are going to take on lease, in that case also you will have to see. And alternatives are there, because this is related with the decision. And the decisions are based on the different alternatives. If there is no alternative, what decision? You are compelled to do that. But the decisions will be taken, decisions will be made when you are finding that the alternatives are available. So if suppose you are considering that, okay, I am not going to buy this asset, I am going to take on lease, then in that case, you will have to check how much lease rental you will have to pay for that, how much maintenance cost you are going to meet every year, and whether this lease rental, whatever you are paying, because you are not the owner of that particular equipment, it will be for a period of time. If suppose you are going to buy or lease, then within these two alternative decisions, whether you should go for buying or you should go for leasing, and because the asset is a long-term asset, amount involved that is very high. When you are going to buy, you say that, okay, there is no problem, I will be taking money from the bank. Bank is going to charge interest from you. So interest payment every time, every year, it is the regular payment that will have to be made. You will have to consider, okay. So one is your interest payment every year, all right? And you will have to repay the loan also, whatever amount they have paid, if you are going to purchase your equipment. So the repayment of loan and the payment of interest every year for a specified period, if you are going to buy it and the loan you have taken for buying, versus how much you are paying if suppose you are not going to buy but you are going to take it on lease. So the cost of financing and the lease rental, they will have to be checked. So a whole lot of calculations you will have to make. For example, if you have purchased this asset and you have taken loan from the market, all right, from the bank, for example, you are paying interest on that. So this is a part of your outflow which you are making, and every time you are going to do that. And the bank is also not going to wait for 15 years or 10 years when you will say that, okay, I will be earning profits and after 10 years I will pay you the loan amount. Bank will say that, okay, if suppose you are having some problem for 2-3 years, I am not going to charge from you, pay interest only, and then after the payment of the total amount that may start. Or the bank will say you that you will have to meet your, or you will have to pay the principal amount which we are paying to you on regular basis. So yearly installment you will have to pay. Now there are two components which you have to pay in this case. One is the interest component, and another one is your installment component. So the installment component in the beginning up to the end period you will have to consider. But at the same time you are also getting one benefit. When you are going to calculate profit out of this, you will be charging depreciation. And this depreciation is going to reduce the amount of your profit. And it is going to reduce your tax also. So in this case, by charging depreciation, you are going to reduce the incidence of tax, which is a benefit for the organization. But in case of lease rental, you are not in a position to charge depreciation because the equipment is not yours. So in that case, only the lease rental, that will be the total amount of expense which you are making. So there is a whole lot of study related to this, the capital budgeting decision. It may be leasing, it may be purchasing the asset, getting the return on that over a period of time. And how are we going to check whether this investment is giving me positive return over a particular period of time or not? That type of decision will be made, and considering sometimes the time value of money, sometimes without considering time value of money, we are going to check these investments. Very important part of our financial decision, that is your investment decision or the capital budgeting decision. Other feature of this capital budgeting is that once you have taken a decision to buy or lease, it is irreversible. Once you have started the job, once you have started to work on that, you are not in a position to get it back. So it is generally, it is irreversible decision. You will have to take additional care in that case. And if suppose you are going to reverse this decision that, okay, I have purchased, and I am interested in purchasing this particular equipment, or in place of that, I am going to have another equipment. You can do that. There may not be a problem. But the only thing is that you will have to sustain very high amount of loss. Heavy loss you will have to sustain. Why? Because by changing, there's so many things you will have to change. So this capital budgeting decision or the investment decision, it is irreversible in nature. It entails higher amount of cost. It is giving you benefit over a period of time, and it is the benefit which is going to accrue in future. And future we say that it is uncertain. So many type of uncertainties they will be there, and uncertainty leads to the risk also. And risk and return, they are having relationship. So there is a whole lot of system for the purpose of understanding, adjusting all these different variables whenever we are going to consider the long-term decision. Details they will follow in the different units, but this is a background in which we have to see. Capital structure decision or financing decision. So financing decision, that means where from you are going to finance your business. I have given the first position to the equity capital. Okay, why? Because it is the owner's contribution to business, the equity capital. And this owner is going to get its benefit at the end period. If there is profit, he will be getting it. If there is no profit, forget about the dividend. He will not be paid for that. Even if there is profit, the company may decide that we are not going to pay dividend this year. We will be paying after 1 year or after 2 years, depending upon the situation. So this is one important source. The feature, as you know, because by now, all of you are understanding what this equity capital is, because you have studied in accounting, you have studied in economics and many other places. These are the very common things. In case of this equity capital, we say that they are the contributors to the capital, and equity shareholders or the ordinary shareholders, they are going to bear maximum risk. They are the residual owner of profit. They are the residual owner of the capital, because they will be paid at the end. That's why we say that, okay, they are the residual owner. So equity capital, and that's why we say that they are going to bear a higher amount of risk. But one feature which we have to keep in mind about equity capital is that the rate of return is not fixed. Here it may be any rate that is possible, depending upon the condition of the company and their decision. The rate is not fixed in case of equity capital, but and that's why it may be much more as compared to any other supplier of loan or any other supplier of money to the business. Much more than that you may be paying, because you are there for this purpose. As we have already considered the agency problem, the management is nothing. It is simply the agent of the equity shareholders. They are the agent of the owner. So they will be working in the best interest of the company. We have already considered that particular principle. So equity capital is very important. And then the type of risk, type of return, the amount of return, the payment of dividend, regularity in the payment of dividend, stability in the payment of dividend, many things. So equity capital is one. Now see here, all the times we are emphasizing, no money is free to the business. You are getting money from the equity shareholders, okay, you will have to pay dividend on that. Whether you are paying this year or next year or next to next year, that is another condition. But you will have to pay for that. You will have to manage money in such a manner that the dividend should go to the equity shareholder. So that is the cost. Now see the another preference share. This is a hybrid type of share, and it has got the components of both, the feature of both the share and the loan. What is that feature? In case of loan, as we know, you will have to pay regularly a fixed amount of interest. In this case, it is a fixed rate which you have to decide when you are going to issue the share, the preference share. So the rate is fixed, irrespective of your amount of profit. But the profit is there. But at the same time, it is having the feature of the equity capital that if there is profit, they will be paid. If there is no profit, they will not be paid. That's why we say that preference share capital is a hybrid type of share capital, where some features of equity and some features of loan, they have been clubbed together. So if there is some amount of profit, so the preference shareholder will be getting dividend, and this dividend is fixed. So here it is not going to fluctuate. The rate is fixed in this case. So the company will have to pay dividend to the preference shareholder if the company is showing profit to the from the organization and these operations. So this is another type. So here you will say that okay, I am going to pay 7%. I have issued 7% preference share. So 7% of the investment whatever he has made. It is not a 7% of profit. It is a 7% of the investment whatever he has made. He has purchased 1,000 rupees preference share, and one share is you are going to pay 7%. So 7% of 1,000 rupees, you will have to pay 70,000. 70 rupees you are going to pay to him. So that will be the preference dividend which will be paid. But the 70 rupees you will pay only when there is profit. If there is no profit, the 70 rupees that will not be paid. These are the features, additional features, rules related to that, convertibility and many things are there. So, but here the rate is fixed. So I am emphasizing on this part. Here in this case, the cost you have to calculate in terms of whatever amount you are going to pay to him. So it is the 7%. So 7% is the cost which is there. Now due to this 7%, because it is coming after the payment of taxes. So the benefit of tax in this case you are not going to get. What will happen to the shareholder? And these are the different aspects which we will discuss in the letter. See another important document, that is your debenture or bond. We are using interchangeably. So there are different type of debenture, different type of bonds, convertible, non-convertible. So that can be converted into equity, that cannot be converted into equity, redeemable, non-redeemable. So that can be redeemed, that cannot be redeemed. That means you will be paying back this amount, the debenture, the amount of loan whatever you have paid to the debenture holder. So the total amount you are going to pay. If it is redeemable, if it is non-redeemable, it will continue. So that in case of this debenture, it is a loan document, very simple, clear. It is a loan document. Whenever we say that it is a loan document, our idea is that you will have to pay interest regularly to the bond holder or the debenture holder. And irrespective of your operations of business, earning of business, this is obligation on the part of company to pay interest to the bondholders. Finish. So it is a loan document. It is just like any other document compared to equity capital or the equity share or the preference share. It is also a document which is going to give where it is mentioned that okay, what is the position of this document. It is 1,000 rupees or 100 rupees debenture. It is 7%, 9%. What is the nature? It is 13 years debenture or 9 years debenture. What is the maturity period if suppose it is redeemable? So the nature here is that the debenture or the bond, whatever you are holding, in that case, whatever you have promised, the borrower, as the company is the borrower in this case, the borrower has already decided, and based on that, the person who has purchased it, he knows that okay, I will be getting only this much money from this. The borrower will have to pay this money to the bondholder or the debenture holder on a regular basis. So there is a cost related to that, and that part we will have to consider. So where from you are going to take it. Now see this bank loan, very simple, we know. We are taking loan from the bank, and without this, the loans from the bank and the from the market in the form of debenture or bond or from other sources, it is not possible for us to create wealth for the equity shareholder. We will discuss this under the concept of leverage, capital gearing. We will be using these terms. These are the terms which we have brought from mechanical engineering, the lever or the gear, which we are using in these mechanical devices. They are being used in finance also. So the leverage part or the gearing part, that is important. Capital gearing, what it says, is that if you are going to have more components of loan in your capital structure, by having that, you will be in a position to increase the value of the equity share capital. That's why you will have to keep in mind that in our capital structure, these aspects, they will be there. We will have to go for loan. We will have to take loan from either bank, financial institution, or we will be issuing this debenture in the market because there are fixed charges. Beyond that, whatever is coming, it will be going to. If I am not going to use these, then what will happen? I am going to take complete money from here and we will be paying the dividend to these people. But here I am going to pay 7%, 9%, 11%, and after that, whatever amount is there, which we have earned due to operations of business, it may be more than 20% to the equity shareholder. That is possible. So here, the capital gearing concept or the leverage concept that says that the amount of loan in your total capital structure that is going to give or that is going to create wealth for the equity shareholder. This is another additional point which we will have to keep in mind. So the capital structure, it is not only the cost which is important. Now see here, equity capital, we don't know how much we have to pay. Preference share, we are knowing we will have to pay this much. In case of debenture also, we know this is the interest rate which we have to pay. In case of bank loan also, we will have to pay. But the preference share rate, the debenture rate, the bank loan rate, they are not same. If you are going to ask loan from the bank, depending upon the risk involved in your project, the bank is going to, depending upon the period for which you are going to charge, you are going to ask for loan, the bank is going to charge interest on that. So the risk involved, the chances of the period involved, all these factors the bank is going to consider, and then the bank will be saying to you that, okay, I am giving you loan at 21%, I am going to give you loan on the 12%, 15%. Financial institutions, there are different financial institutions. If we are going to the government financial institutions, okay, we are having in case of the states, the State Financial Corporation, UP State Financial Corporation. So states are also having financial corporation for the purpose of industrial development. So their basic aim is that there should be balanced growth of the state. So what they are saying that, okay, if you are going to start your business in an area which is backward, economically backward or infrastructurally backward area, if you are going to start business, we will be giving you soft loan and we will be giving you the holidays also for the purpose of collection of interest on that particular loan. Why? Because the government is interested in developing that particular area where the industries are not available, people are not employed, they want to create employment there. So what will happen? They will be giving you loan at a lower rate. But if you are going to develop or if you are going to start your business in the developed area, and for the same type of project, they will be charging higher rate of interest. Now see why I am emphasizing this part, because the rate of debenture, rate of bank loan, and the rate of interest for the financial institutions, they are not same. Okay. And now this capital structure decision will include that how much of equity capital, how much of preference share, how much of debenture or bond, how much loan from the bank, and how much loan from the financial institutions I am going to take for financing my long-term assets, so that the cost related to these sources of finance, they should be minimum or optimal level. Basic idea for which we are considering this capital structure is that the rate, the cost involved is not same, but due to that, we will have to consider that how much from which source we will have to collect money, so that our what we call in finance weighted average cost of capital, that should be kept minimum. So the capital structure decision is such an important decision. We are going to issue shares, IPO, initial public offering. We are going to issue shares to the rights issue also. We are going to give to the existing shareholders. Many things are there in this case. Detailed discussion, of course, that will follow. This is just for the introduction part, so that we should have clear idea what we have to discuss here. Now see, it looks to be very simple and very direct. Dividend decision. You have got the amount of money. You have paid taxes. Earning after tax, you are having some amount of money. We know the system. The system is that first of all, out of this amount of profit, we will have to pay to the preference shareholder. The rate is fixed per share. So depending on how many shares one is holding and how many shares we have already issued, we are going to declare dividend on that. So one component where the rate of return is fixed, that is your preference share. First of all, he will be given preference, or he will be paid first of all, so he will be given preference over the equity shareholder. But the calculation and the decision, that is not that much difficult, because you have already earned profit and you have decided that okay, dividend will have to be paid. Finish. The problem is here. Main problem is here because you have to distribute the dividend to the shareholder. Very good. But the problem which we will have to encounter is that when you are going to distribute this dividend to the equity shareholder, okay, certain things we will have to consider. One alternative is that we are not going to pay dividend to the shareholder. Other alternative is that we are going to pay dividend to the shareholder. These two conditions we have to keep in mind. The first one, if we are not going to pay dividend to the shareholder, even after the company is having profit, what is the justification? Your justification will be that we are having different long-term projects which we are going to finance from the dividend, whatever we are not going to pay to the shareholder. That means there is availability of some long-term investment opportunities. So long-term investment opportunities are available, and for that we are not going to the bank, because in that case we will have to pay interest on that. We are not going to issue any debenture. We are going to depend on the profit, whatever the company has generated. So this year we are not going to pay dividend. But the justification is that there is some investment opportunity available for which you are not going to pay to the shareholder. Okay. So he will say that, okay, it is all right. I am happy. I am satisfied. Second condition, you are going to pay the dividend to the shareholder. What the shareholder will do? The shareholder has got two options. First of all, he may be using it for his consumption. That means he will be keeping himself satisfied. He has got the money, so he is going to consume it. So what will he do? He will be purchasing certain things for which he was waiting. So he will say that, okay, I am going to consume that and I am going to keep myself satisfied. Very good. Other option is that he is not going to consume. He says that, okay, I should go for saving. So this is the next alternative we consider. Because if I am going to save, I will be getting 3%, 4%, because these days the situation is like this. So on this saving bank account, 3% saving I am going to have. So he says that, okay, I am going to save this money for future, and I will be getting return in that case. The third alternative is with the equity shareholder. He says that, okay, neither I am going to consume it, nor I am going to save it, but I am going to invest it. Why? Because once we are considering the saving part, the risk is less, because you are going to place it before the bank. Nowadays, we have seen that so many banks, they have failed. But in general, we are considering that this failure of bank due to NPA and other problems, they are not that regular. But we could find it, and even in case of public sector banks also, the situation has not been that much conducive. But in general, understanding is that, okay, saving is safer as compared to investing. When you are going to invest, there are different types of risks involved. The market risks are there. and it may be giving you the return whatever you are expecting, or it may not be giving you the return. Where are you going to invest? You say that, okay, I am going to purchase share at the stock market. So I will be purchasing the share, and after 1 month, 2 months, or 6 months, I am going to offload that share. So I have purchased it today for 15 rupees share, each share, and I am going to sell it for 20 rupees. So 5 rupees I am going to get, but there is risk also. It may not be 5 rupees, it may be the 15 rupees you have purchased, it may reduce to 10 rupees or 12 rupees also. There is a chance. So the risk is there, return is also there. So the equity shareholder, they are having this option. Consumption is one, saving is another one, investment is another. Now try to understand. The equity shareholder himself is going to invest in the market. This is one option which is available with him. The other option is with the company. Company says that, okay, I am not going to give this dividend to the shareholder. We are going to invest. Then how and under what condition the equity shareholder will be happy? He will say that if I am getting 10% return from the market and the company is going to give me 12% return from investment, I am happy. But if the company is giving me 8% return and I am going to get 10% return from the market, it is desirable for us that you should pay dividend rather than retain money with us. So here, in case of this dividend decision, investment opportunity, rate of return, risk related with that, all these aspects, they will have to be considered. And then after, we will also have to see, because whenever you are going to, any company is going to declare dividend, what is its impact on the price of the share at the stock market? That is very important component of our dividend decision. Sometimes when you are going to declare dividend, you will find that the price of the share that is coming down. Sometimes we are going to declare dividend, the price of the share that is going up. It is also, both the situations are possible. So there are different type of theories which have been developed based on the reaction, based on the market value of the share. Different theories they have been developed. We will have to see those theories. What are the assumptions related to that, and in what manner they have tried to calculate which will be suitable for the investor. So in case of dividend decision, from outside it looks that, okay, you are going to pay 2 rupees equity dividend to the shareholder, or 3 rupees dividend to the shareholder who has purchased 10 rupees share. Okay, it looks to be very simple from outside. But what will be its impact? Where are you going to use this money? How it is going to create impact in the mind of your shareholders, expected shareholders? If suppose you are going to finance a project, your new project you are going to develop, and you are asking for additional money from the market, and you are going to issue shares, new shares you are going to issue in the market. What will be the reaction of the investors in that case? So these factors we have to keep in mind whenever we are going to take decisions related with the dividend side. Retention of profit, they are related. How much, if suppose 40% you have declared dividend, then 60% they will be retained. If suppose 30% you have declared dividend, so 70% is going to be retained. If 70% you have declared dividend, 30% will be retained. So the declaration of the dividend and retention of profit, both of them, they are having direct relationship. DP ratio, that is dividend payout ratio. If your dividend payout ratio is 40%, then the retention ratio that will be 60%. If your dividend payout ratio is 30%, retention ratio will be 70%. So there is a direct relationship which we are finding in this case, and we will have to have justification for that. Whether we should retain, we should pay, what will be the reaction of the stock market when we are going to declare this dividend. Now coming to this working capital decision, it is a regular type of activity in which the finance people.
We have another class, sir.
कितना टाइम हो गया? चलो 41 हो गया. ठीक है साहब. On Saturday, inshallah, we will meet.
Thank you, sir.